Hey, so one thing I've been thinking a lot about is daddy issues. Growing up, I had a lot of them myself. My dad wasn't there, he never came around, didn't call, no nothing. And what that did to me, I rarely really talk about. I didn't have that feeling that I belonged. I struggled with my self worth, and it really, really dragged on. And to this day, there's always something there that need to prove myself a little bit. But the truth is, I've had to do a lot of work. So, years ago, about 17 years ago now, I used to work at this amusement park, and this kid came in, not much younger than me. I trained him, and he was leaving a couple months later to go to a military institute. And I met his family at that point. I don't know what it was about them, but I just fell in love with that family. And I've been praying for a dad for the longest time. But God did something greater for me than even I asked for. I not only ended up with a dad, because this man definitely has loved me and treated me like one of his own. I ended up with an extra mom, three other brothers, and it's been really, really cool. Now, contrast that with what I've been missing, and I just, it's hard to really put into words. I didn't get to be on the football teams. I didn't get to be on the baseball teams, all that stuff. I didn't have anyone to teach me how to fish. I didn't have anyone, you know, doing all the guy stuff, really. I had my big brother. Without him, I don't know where I'd be. But there's always been that empty feeling, that hollow feeling. And I had to go to the throne with it. And I just prayed, like, why am I feeling this way? Why does it hurt so bad? Why didn't he want me? And it hit me, not all at once, but over time. I wasn't the issue. I wasn't the problem. Nothing like that. The problem was him. He chose not to be there. He chose not to come around, not to call, not to write, not to send me a birthday card, a Christmas present, anything. And I got angry for years and years. Father's Day would roll around, and I'm just angry and bitter. The donuts with dad type things at school. And I was sad and felt dejected, abandoned, left out. My mom did what she could, but she's not a dad. And she can't replace dad. But she did what she could, and I love her for it. And I'm grateful for it. And then 5 years ago, I had my kids. And I sat and I looked at them and I cried over them and I prayed over them and I thank God for them. And it hit me. I wasn't over it yet. So I prayed more, and then I wrote him a letter, to which I've never gotten a response. But in that letter, it just released him. Hey, these are the people in my life you're choosing not to know, your grandchildren, your daughter-in-law. I don't have any ill will towards you. I'm not mad. I love you. because I do. To this day, if he were to pick up that phone and say, "Hey Josh, let's talk," I'd answer every time. Not because of some need or longing, none of that anymore. That void was filled more than I realized. It overflowed. But because he is my dad. And if he wants to do things differently, even at this point, yeah. And I've had people say, well, why don't you call him? The truth is, I'm not making that call because in this instance, I am the kid. And my life is my life. My life is set. I don't have to reach out to someone who's chosen not to be there. If he wants to be there, I will never say no. I won't reject him. I won't harass him or cuss him out or anything like that. I'm here if he chooses to be. But I know that there are a lot of people who deal with that themselves, and I want to be there for them. I've had clients, younger than me, of course, generally speaking, who've lived without their dads, and I see myself in them in a lot of ways. My older two kids, their dad wasn't there initially. Things have shifted a bit in a positive, but he wasn't at first. That's what that is. But I was blessed enough to be able to be there. And I wouldn't change that for a moment because I see the impact having a father has. I see the impact of that strong man in a life can have. And I'm grateful for the strong men in my life. My big brother, the man I call dad, my uncles, my cousins, and I'm so grateful. And I want to do that for other people. I want to be that for other people. It doesn't have to be in the same way, but to teach you how to do certain things, how to go a certain way, how to live and be a man in a certain way, in ways that I did miss out on at certain junctures. But looking back, it was retroactively filled, and I learned what it means to really man up. People don't like that word, but you know what? We got to learn to man up, and we have to learn to do things a certain way in order to not falter, to not fail to lead accordingly. And my invite is, if you're wanting that, I'm here. Just let me know and we can get started today. So my prayer is that you guys are awesome and you go so far.